Find out what's making you sick and how to heal. Anthony William is the medical medium.
This is Anthony William, the medical medium. You're listening to the Medical Medium radio show, where each week we talk about the most advanced healing information out there ever in conventional and alternative medicine in chronic illness. It's important to know that because, we don't discuss some of the amazing discoveries in science and research with medicine, life-saving medicine and everything else, because we don't need to. They're doing great. But what we need to discuss is where it's disastrous, where it's negligent, where it's literally falling apart. Millions of people in the U.S. alone are so sick, not functioning, quality of life down the drain, all of it. And that's what we're up against with chronic illness. And it's only getting worse by the year, by the month, every single year, every single decade. Been watching it happen for decades. So we have to do something about it. So we deal with the most advanced health information. Today we're talking about the liver's own immune system. The liver's own immune system. Very important topic, unbelievable. Science and research doesn't have a clue to the degree of how the liver's immune system works, what's happening inside the liver, what's going on, how it's protecting you and everything about it. So it's the heroic liver. This is all about liver rescue book. Pick up a copy if you get a chance. If you can't afford a copy of a book, just go to the library and try to get it out there as soon as you can. Head to the library because you really need this and you need to get better. And you just need to get the information. It's so important to understand your immune system. That is really a critical piece. I'm going to tell you something right now. When you were born, your mother's liver sent a message to your own liver that it could take care of itself. Going back thousands of years in the history of humankind, this has been ingrained in who we are as human beings. This is how it's always been. It's always been a part of us. Our livers, we don't offer them a helping hand. We never give them that helping hand. So as we go through life, they have to take care of themselves. And so the knowledge is passed along from our mothers to us, liver to liver, that it has to fend for itself. A very important understanding right there. And it's not that it couldn't use any help. It does need our help. Our livers do need our help without a doubt. It does face limitations over time as it weakens, though, and breaks down from lack of our support. When we don't know what the liver's doing for us and don't have a clue. And that's why we're talking about the liver's own immune system, personalized immune system, the heroic liver, I call it, in liver rescue. The reason why we're even doing this is because it's important to know about the liver's immune system and how it doesn't get outside help from us, ever. It needs and deserves the outside help from us. It really does. And so as the years go by, the liver's own immune system, which is literally not understood by research and science except for just one basic aspect of it, and I'm going to cover into detail about the real thing that's going on inside our liver. Get ready to be mind blown. Just get ready to be mind blown. And that's important. All of it's important about the liver. And it's important to actually be mind blown too, so you can be like, hey, I remember that. I need to take care of my liver. Oh my God, I can't believe my liver does that. Exactly. So then you can actually remember it. Remember the information. If something's that mind-blowing, like your liver has 6 types of immune functions, meaning like 6 varieties of immune cells. Only one is flagged by research and science. This is going to be a fun show. It really is. So as the liver loses strength and grows toxic through the years, yes, our livers grow toxic through the years, you better believe it, the liver's immune system becomes a tattered army out in a field in the trenches with holes in the boots and holes in socks and tears in the tears in the uniforms and tears in the eyes. And that's how the liver, and it becomes desperate for food and water. And that's the whole point. Low ammunition supply, low immune system. And that's the whole deal. We can shift it, of course. We can do something about it. We can build the immune system. We can protect ourselves, protect our liver, and build our liver's immune system up. There is a way. But first you need to know your liver has an immune system. That's the big thing. This is revolutionary information, meaning it's advanced by 10, 20, 30 years. I don't know, maybe even 40 years. You know what? When I'm dead down the road, just gone, whatever, just gone. 50 years down the road, whatever it's going to be. Maybe science and research will actually teach people how to take care of their livers so that this is on the radar. Well, wait a minute. We're here right now. What does that matter? We're here right now. What am I talking about? What do you mean 50 years down the road? What's today? Right there. You can know now. How about that? You can learn now. We can learn right now as we speak. Yeah. Isn't that exciting? That's really exciting. So, okay, we can shift this, of course, and we can do something about it. We can heal and avoid disease. We can protect the liver, its reserves, and precious immune system. We could change the direction. We can not be sick and recover. We can alter things. We can get out of things. We could change our destiny. Yes, we can when you know what is going on and what you need to do. This is so important to know, all of it. We can change the way our liver works and our health works. We need our livers and our livers need us. I'm telling you right now. And knowing this is the biggest piece of the puzzle. Knowing this is the biggest piece of the puzzle. While medical denial can keep us in the dark, we can play it smart by knowing that the liver's immune system is always kept in the light of knowing. It understands our liver and it understands what it's doing, but we need to help it in some way. You don't think this is exciting? I think this is exciting. That's all I can tell you. This is a big deal. If you get liver rescue, just know the book has got so much information that I can't cover it in a radio show. I'm talking about the liver's immune system. It's actually a chapter, a whole section in liver rescue. But I can only scratch, I guess, just a couple of things in there. But this is going to be still incredible. If you want to know if you want to get it all, you just got to make sure you go to the library, get a copy if you can't afford one, or just go to Amazon or whatever and get a book. Wherever you go to get a book, go to the bookstore. When you hear about the term immune system, you guys, we tend to think about our bodies like defense mechanisms with sniffles, runny noses, right? Don't you think that? I mean, it's the whole point. And some people think cancer. They think cancer now. They're like, immune system, cancer. You need a good immune system so you don't get cancer. So some people are thinking that. It's not a lot of people that are going there. But we often think about runny noses, fevers, sore throats, coughs. Yeah, rightfully so. You don't want that. You don't want the flu, because that's what it's about. You don't want the flu. Protection against flus is critical. Like, it's a critical function of the immune system. That's why we learn as kids, take vitamin C, I think, or get a good night's rest, or plenty of fluids. I think mommies are teaching kids that. So that's a beautiful thing. But this is just a fraction of what our immune system is made up of, because there's all these invaders. I hate going into spooky land. But I have to. There's all these invaders. There's all these viral things going on. There's viruses. And there's some bacteria, but there's a lot of viruses. That's really what's taking down people in this country alone, never mind globally, and making it so they can't function. Making it so they literally can't get out of bed. Making it so they can't, brain fog, giving them everything under the sun. I mean, brain fog is just one symptom. I mean, I'm not even talking about migraines, headaches, tremors, shakes, aches and pains, tingles, numbness, tinnitus, ringing in the ears, popping in the ears, floaters in the eyes, black spots in the eyes, white spots in the eyes, weak limbs, weak arms, weak legs, feeling of fatigue, neurological fatigue, which comes from me, neurological fatigue, just so you know. Okay, it's just always been fatigue all these years. It's actually neurological fatigue. It's the central nervous system being bogged down by neurotoxins, by viruses. That's medical medium information. That's advanced information that's been hitting the scene from us. But the point is that with all the different neurological conditions you can have, including hot flashes, which is actually a central nervous system condition, with all these things you can have, with focus, concentration, everything under the sun. There's viruses that sit behind all of this. So our immune system, it's just not about the flu. It's just not about that kind of thing. It's not about, hey, let's guard ourselves from the flu. Let's not try to get the flu. It's not about that. It's about so much more. Evidence of invaders isn't always so obvious. That's what I mean. It's just not obvious to the doctors. It's not obvious to anyone. Even if you get an Epstein-Barr test, they're not going to think your Epstein-Barr is even doing anything because they don't know. Viruses and bacteria, especially viruses, wage attacks beneath the surface deep in there, and they don't create a lot of noise sometimes. They're nice and quiet. Not trying to go into spooky land, but I just, it's either you learn or you don't. I don't know what else to say. I mean, we can be in the dark about everything, and we can be in denial. I can't tell you how many people, even on social media, they're like, oh, yeah, you see it out there, and you're just like, yeah, I got these symptoms and everything, and they don't even know they're viral. They don't even know they're viral. They have no clue. They think, oh, it's just a gut problem. Oh, my God, I went to this functional doctor, whatever, I think it's a gut problem, or I think they're viral. You see it. There's a lot of 20-year-olds, there's a lot of 30-year-olds, and they're just, they don't know it. Or, yeah, I got hypothyroidism. They don't know that. That's actually Epstein-Barr causing hypothyroidism. You see it out there. It's unbelievable how far we're still off about getting the information out there. But these viruses, they just sit in there. So viruses and bacteria, they wage attacks far beneath the surface in organs and glands. That's how it works. Fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, RA, myalgic encephalitis, all kinds of different things. Chronic fatigue syndrome, ME/CFS, right? Lupus, shingles, Lyme disease, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, hypothyroidism, and add another 100 other conditions to it, are all from a virus starting out in guess where? Guess where? Just make a guess right now. Liver Rescue book, talking about the liver's immune system. Where do all those conditions, where do they all stem from? Where do they all start from, right? You're figuring it out. I mean, probably a bunch of you guys want to smack me in the head right now, probably. Be like, we got it, it's the liver. Stop, we got it. Yeah, it's the liver. It stems there. It starts there. That's where it starts. More than we know, we rely on the liver's immune system. So much so, it's unbelievable how we rely on the liver's immune system. It's unbelievable, actually. And it protects us from becoming ill. The liver doesn't like viruses, and it doesn't like bacteria either residing in it. So when it can't stop them from entering, it does everything it can to keep them contained. So viruses enter into the liver. That's how it's done. They enter into the liver. And if the liver can't stop it, if the liver's immune system cannot kill off that bug, because the liver's immune system is weak, because guess what? We're on high-fat diets. All fun and games. All those cute little trendy diets out there. I talk about that in Liver Rescue more than you guys could ever know. I mean, wait till you see it. Wait till you see it. You won't believe it. All the trendy diets out there. All high-fat diets. Keep on doing it. Keep on putting out more high-fat diets, high-protein diets. Keep on doing it. I'm not talking about whether it's animal protein or vegan. They're both. They both go high-protein, high-fat. Let's keep on doing it out there. Yeah, you're going to get temporary results for many of you, but yet everybody's still going to stay sick down the road. I mean, it's unbelievable. You got to bring down the fats. It weakens the liver, so the liver's immune system cannot stop viral infections that are chronic long term. So that when you're in your 20s and you think you're indestructible and you're in the gym, right, and you're on your trendy low carb diet, give it 20 years. Give it to when you're 40. 40 comes around, man. It comes around. And when you're sick, you got all these symptoms and crap's happening left and right. It's got 2 viruses inside the liver and no one cared and no one even knows and no one wants to know and whatever's going on, and it's just, wreaking havoc and then coming out and hitting the thyroid and giving you your first case of Hashimoto's thyroiditis and everything else under the sun. And you're gaining weight and don't know why. You've been working out, eating good, pretty good all these years because nobody knows how it works. It's unbelievable. Look, it's either you know or you don't. I could stop the radio shows. I could stop putting out the books. I mean, should I? Maybe I should. Maybe I should shut it all down. All of it. I'll just go find some wooded spot and live in a tent somewhere. Maybe I'll do that. I did it when I was a kid. Right. Okay, so let's do this. I'm being pretty silly. I'm in a silly mood today. So the bottom line is the livers get beaten down. We rely on the liver's immune system more than we can possibly imagine. And when the liver can't kill off because it's been weakened over time and over the years by the wrong diets because of just experts not knowing anything about how the body works and all these other things, when we're under all this stuff, or we're contracting viruses through relationships or however it goes, and all these different things that we get these viruses from, and from food and restaurants and everything else. Our liver has to work on destroying it. Its immune system has to be strong, and it has to be able to annihilate a bug entering it, because that's what happens. When you're in new relationships all the time, the bugs, they get in the mouth and they get down to the gut, and then they transfer from the gut up the hepatic portal highway right into the liver. That's how it's done. I mean, that's just one way in a relationship. You know, there's a few other ways in a relationship that it could happen too. But the point is this is what goes on. You get in a restaurant, you got all these chefs. I mean, just across the country. And there's nothing wrong with chefs. It's just they're people, which just means you got all these people. And they got Band-Aids on their hands. And they got, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's unbelievable. And yeah, they get cut. And they're still got to work. You just got to wrap it up. I've seen chefs, some of the best chefs, get cut. And they just throw electrical tape on it. They just wrap it with electrical tape. And throw on sometimes a nitrile glove. But at the same time, they still got blood everywhere and on their hands, and they throw on the nitrile glove. There's blood on their nitrile glove, but they're still, they're trying to do whatever, and they wrap electrical tape, and they're in the heat of the moment of just trying to get the food out. I mean, it's like one of those high-pressured situations. It's unbelievable. And then, boom, we're eating food and just got another Epstein-Barr. Don't know why we got chronic fatigue syndrome. Again, at age 38. Either way, I'm not trying to scare the crap out of us too bad. Basically, what I'm doing is the liver, it's up to the liver. It's so up to the liver. It's so up to the liver to make sure it destroys a new bug coming in. And if it can't destroy it, it locks it up. It imprisons it. It imprisons it. The liver is a genius. It's the gatekeeper. It's everything. It's underestimated. It's disrespected. It's disregarded. It's treated badly, just like people are treated, by the way. It's used. It's like people get used. It's terrible. It's all of it. And we need to do something about it. We need to do something. So it kind of works like this. Let's go into this. This is really intense. So, get yourself ready for this one. So here's the deal. The liver contains whatever it can that's possible. Then it will send killer cells after viruses to keep them at bay and to keep them deep, guarded in the fabric of the liver. So basically what these killer cells, this is just one set of killer cells. Wait till you hear the rest of this. And that's just to keep it at bay inside the liver. And this is really important to know. When a virus starts to get out of control, it tries to leave the depths of the liver that it's been shoved down and stored in, locked up. It tries to leave the depths of the liver. Special white blood cells are there to destroy it. A different variety, all on its own, a different variety. The liver also brings in white blood cells randomly to control viruses living deep within it, like I was saying before. But why doesn't the liver send its white count to out and out destroy all viruses and other pathogens in the liver? Why doesn't it do that? Because the liver's putting tremendous number of resources already into trying to fight off new pathogens entering by the second, by the day, by the week, by the month, through the hepatic portal vein and hepatic artery. These are entries into the liver. And it's trying to kill those off as they enter. The liver gets exhausted. So it's trying to kill off invaders entering in the first place. As it's using all of its reserves to try to stop viruses entering into the hepatic portal vein and hepatic artery, the highways into the liver. That's where all the viruses are entering. That's where they all come in. And your liver's immune system is sitting there at those gates, at the gates of that highway right there, trying to annihilate everything that comes in. Everything. So when you're at a cocktail party, when you're at a bar or a club, and you're drinking out of dirty glasses and whatever, and sharing drinks and whatever's going on, and all of a sudden you just picked up a new kind of strep, and that strep goes right in the gut. Hasn't really prospered or done anything yet, but it goes right down in the gut. Heads right down in there. Goes right through the wall of the intestinal tract lining. That's how it does. It goes through the wall. It literally, through osmosis, gets vacuumed through, right up the portal veins, right through blood vessels, right up to the liver, and that liver of yours sits there with all its immune strength and all its immune system sitting there waiting by the gates and annihilates the crap out of that brand new strep you just picked up in that club or at the cocktail party or at your friend's house or whatever. I'm just I don't know. I don't know what people do these days. Wherever we can get anything. Or the toilet or some toilet in some gas station that was just, festering with a whole bunch of stuff and some water splashed up. Yeah. And with that, your liver is literally destroying that invader. So it's using everything it can. Everything it can. I told you this was going to be intense. All right, let's cruise along. We got so much to cover, it's ridiculous. Because the liver is already putting out, like I said, this tremendous number of resources to trying to do exactly what I just said it's doing. Protect things from entering into the portal vein, the portal hepatic artery, all of that. And if you don't know what that is, it's just, that's veins coming off of your intestinal tract lining. That's veins, and they all funnel to the liver into a main highway, hepatic portal highway. Same thing with the artery. And all the blood vessels, all to a main artery, a highway. So that's what the body's doing, is trying to kill those off. These are the immune defenses of the liver's personalized immune system. That's what this show's about. It's a highly advanced information. Forewarning anybody who just tuned in and listened to the show over again. You got to listen to the show over again. I think, honestly, it's a shame when someone just tunes in halfway in the show, doesn't hear the first half. I know we're all busy, but this is about your health, loved ones, and everything else. And it's about knowing some important information. Much of the sophistication of the liver's immune system is still unknown, like I said, to medical communities, research, and science. It's why you don't hear about it every day in the world. That's the whole point. Almost all of it's not known. And that's how it works. And it's unknown to medical science and research that your liver's immune system is made up, of 6 main units. Your liver immune system is made up of 6 main units. I'll give you 3 of them right off the top. The hepatic vessel white blood cells, okay? Hepatic portal vein white blood cells. Science and research doesn't know about this. Has no clue. These aren't even, it's not even on the radar, not even in any study, not even in anywhere. It's advanced information, forewarning you. Hepatic artery white blood cells. Those are 3 of those units I just said just now. They're the soldiers that stand watch. They stand watch as the blood enters the liver. Research and science just thinks there's some white blood cells floating around inside the liver. That's about it. And there's a reason. I really think there's a reason money's not going there. And I really think there's a reason why it's understudied like everything else in chronic illness. But I think with this one, I think there's a big reason. Because once again, it leads to the fact that the liver's filled with viruses, and then viruses are the cause for all the chronic illnesses. And guess what? It's not genetics. It's not genetics. It never was genetics. That's why people are sick with chronic illness. It's not the body attacking itself. It's a liver filled with a load of viruses. Try to bleep myself and not swear, because this stuff will just, it'll make you get emotional. And the whole point is that, that we're not supposed to know about like how viruses make us all sick. We're supposed to kind of stay stupid. And then we get an answer or diagnosis. We're like, what? Our body's attacking itself? Our body's actually attacking itself? So my body's own immune system is destroying my thyroid? Or my body's own immune system is destroying my skin, or destroying my kidney, or my body's own immune system is making me sick? And it's genetic? Oh, wait. There's information out there now. You're telling me that Epstein-Barr kind of plays a role, but it's not the cause. It's just a trigger. That's another screw up. Just look out for all that. You see all these, these studies, and the medical medium community will actually post them and be like, hey, look, AW was right. Anthony William was right. It is Epstein-Barr. But when you read the study, they still don't want the truth. They're trying to derail you and trick you. That's the whole thing. I talked about that on a Facebook Live. They're doing that because of what we did. We spent years getting the truth out there, and it became a storm. It's raging through the country alone, never mind globally, of the truth that's causing chronic illness because of the Medical Medium book series. So then they put out the bogus studies saying, oh, well, Epstein-Barr, it cause of Hashimoto's, cause of this, cause. No, it's not that you read the article. Or the article, or you read the study, it has nothing to do with the cause. They say it's genetics and the body's attacking itself, and they say that it's just linked. It's a trigger, they think. Unbelievable. They do that on purpose. That's all done on purpose. Don't get fooled by that. The truth still isn't. They don't want you to know the truth. It's the way it works. And the liver has so much to do with it. So research and science is behind with the liver for a couple of reasons, because it's the incubation place where all the viruses go. And a lot of viruses are manufactured going all the way back. And they've somehow escaped. Many of them, stealth viruses, many of the different varieties and the mutations somehow escaped out of some lab. Whoa. I don't know how they end up in people, but they do. And they incubate inside everybody's liver. No one's taking care of the liver. And then, the big trendy guys out there, the big fancy doctors, whatever, they put out their books, whatever, and they want to hang their hat on something. It's all on a high fat this and a high fat that, or a high protein this. And you can see some of them are trying to back down that a little bit. And they're like lowering that, bringing in more juices, bringing in more fruits and vegetables. Oh, when did you learn that? Last year? How about 30 years ago when I was getting people out of bed that were out of wheelchairs? It's important to know what you need to do. It's so critical. I'm so sarcastic today. I'm sorry, you guys. I hope that doesn't turn you off and make you want to hang up from the podcast. Here's the deal. You just gotta remember I'm silly too a lot. So just bear with me. When you're doing this for like your whole life since age 4, you got to remember the medical information that came to me at age 4, 5, 6, 7 is the same thing you're reading in these advanced books that's 50 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years ahead of its time. At age 5, 6, 7, 8, I was getting the information. That's why there's this picture of me in the book, age 4 years old, sitting in there. There's a reason. I was getting the information that early. It was no fun. So there's these six main units of our liver's immune system. So here's how it works. Like the hepatic portal vein, that's the main highway vein I was talking about. It comes off of the intestinal tract. So as viruses and bacteria are funneling up into the liver, those white blood cells in the hepatic portal vein, that's one of the highways. Those white blood cells monitor the portal vein itself. This is the main highway into the liver. This is past the point of any more off-ramps or on-ramps, actually on-ramps. Sorry about that. There's no more exits. This highway ends up heading. Did you ever get in traffic? Did you ever drive? And you're like, crap, I should have gotten off of that. You should have got off in LA, especially in LA. It's like, I should have gotten off that exit. Oh my God, what did I do? Why am I stuck in this for the next 45 minutes now, for the next hour and a half? I should have got off that exit. or in New York or wherever. I mean, it's just crazy, or anywhere in the country. So, so there's no getting off. That blood is heading up into the liver through that hepatic portal vein. So these white blood cells, they actually act like TSA at the airport. That's what they do. As blood's coming through the hepatic portal vein, it's filled with nutrients, right? You know that part. I think our blood is filled with nutrients. I think you guys probably know that. Our blood going into the liver is filled with nutrients and poisons. Lots of poisons. It's filled with both. And this is a hotspot for any kind of troublemakers trying to make their way inside the liver, like viruses. So they try to actually go in through that way. And the more poison you have coming in, the more your white blood cells, this one part of the 6 main units of your immune system, can get derailed as an EBV, a new EBV, is heading up through the hepatic portal vein. Exactly, ready to give somebody a good chronic fatigue syndrome. I mean, so right when it's heading up there, your white blood cells. So that's one of the troublemakers there, right? So it's a troublemaker, that virus, a very common troublemaker, unbelievable. So it heads up and it comes, and here's the thing. So all this blood coming through is coming from your digestive tract. It's unfiltered. It's unfiltered. The liver has to filter it. So whatever you're eating, if you're eating a high fat diet, which people don't know they are, but they really are. They really are. Vegans too. Vegans, plant-based people are eating such high fat diets. It's unbelievable. It's like everything has just lots of fat in it, nut fat in there, whatever kind of fat in there. It's incredible. Vegetarians are really on high fat diets. They're eating eggs. Vegetarians are eating eggs. I mean, it's unbelievable. And so they're eating all that high fat, everything else around it. And a lot of keto diets now, based with eggs and then avocados and they're vegan, or you're kind of borderline vegan or whatever it is. You get vegan keto diets. It's just all fat. The thing is, you can't be on the vegan keto diet can't exist because an avocado has sugar in it. It's different when you go on a animal protein keto diet. That is an actual real keto diet. If you there's no such thing as going on a vegan keto diet. You can't. There's sugar in nuts. There's sugar in nuts. You can't be on a keto diet. All you can be on is just a high fat diet when you're vegan. Fancy that. Fancy that information. So because avocados, it's 25% sugar. I mean, you can't, nuts, there's a percentage of sugar in there. So you really can't go keto on a vegan diet. You just go high fat with still some sugar. So you don't get the ketosis factor. You just high fat diet and you're cutting down your carbs. That's about it. And then the animal protein, if you're doing avocados along with your animal proteins, you're still not even really doing keto anymore anyway either. You're just doing high fat. So the whole keto thing's a bomb. It's not even understood right. And then you got these experts teaching it. I don't even know how it works. It's the craziest thing ever. It's crazy. It's like, whoa, it's amazing. It's the Wild West. You can do anything. You can do anything now in alternative medicine and diets in the diet world. You can do anything. You can put a bunny rabbit in your hat and then and do a funny dance with a cane and then show up another trendy diet in 1 second. Boom, here's another one. Oh, I'm an expert. And then someone's, on another diet. And, oh, I'm Dr. whatever, Doolittle. And this is what I got now. I used to be, a doctor, and I used to be this and this and this at, prestigious medical school and everything else. Now I'm into health. And, yeah, the keto diet's the way to go. You lose a little weight, lower your carbs. What about everybody that's dying of chronic illness? And all the viruses that are eating up their bodies and their livers and their immune systems. And I can't function. And I can't even do anything. They can't work. They lose everything. They lose everything in their lives. And that diet ain't going to help. Gotta have the truth in your hands so you can heal. So, these 6 main units, one of them is waiting at the portal gate right there. It's waiting to stomp on a bacteria and a virus that's creating all the illness that's going on out there. But there's so much poison and there's so many nutrients all combined coming up that highway from your intestinal tract unfiltered that it can get derailed pretty easy. So that's how it works. And that's really a difficult situation. And then there's hepatic artery white blood cells. That's a whole nother kind. So that's another group, hepatic artery white blood cells. Okay, so they're in these artery white blood cells. This is where blood is coming in with high oxygen levels. So you have to know the difference. So with the hepatic portal vein blood coming in from the digestive tract, there's no oxygen in it. I mean, there's a little bit in there, not a lot. And then you got, and the stream is slow. It's like slow. The stream is not fast at all. It's slow. So the hepatic artery, those white blood cells, they're stationed at the circulatory entrance to the liver. This is the hepatic artery. This is different. This blood is coming to the heart, coming from the heart. It is higher levels of oxygen it's holding. And then the blood that enters from the hepatic portal vein, it's traveling at a higher velocity than that. I mean, you have to know this. This is the big difference right here. If I'm trying to remember. So it's hepatic artery white blood cells. They're different. They're adapted to a whole different situation because you remember high levels of oxygen pouring into the liver. That blood's being pumped from the heart. This isn't blood coming from the digestive tract being sucked in through the veins up into the liver I was talking about before. This is high flushing ratio pumping blood coming from the heart, entering into the liver. Okay? And these white blood cells, they're adapted to high oxygen levels and high extreme blood flow. Whereas the hepatic portal vein white blood cells, they can survive in other ways with lack of oxygen. They're different. There's two different buggies. They're not buggies, two different immune cells. One can survive high oxygen and high blood flow. Another one can survive low oxygen and lots of poison. That's the difference. That's the difference right there. Research and science, I don't know, 40 years from now on this one, they'll still be studying genetics, I forgot, and they'll still be, wanting everybody to do a genetic test on, TV commercials and all that, so looking for your heritage and stuff. They'll still be wanting to do that so they can collect all your DNA. It's unbelievable. So you just play with it more and more until they clone people down the road. It's that they don't even care about chronic illness. I'm telling you, science and research doesn't even care about chronic illness. They just don't. The people working for them do. They do, but they have bosses. They're all under direction, or they're out of a job. So the bottom line is, this is how it works. So that group of immune cells that sit in that artery area with high oxygen, high speed blood flow coming through, okay? They know how to swim aggressively. They can handle it. Under a microscope, if these immune cells were ever on the radar of science and research, if they were ever on the radar, if they were ever of even interest in today's world of medicine, they first of all, science and research would probably think they're all the same at first, but there's subtle differences that mean everything, and that would take years of study. So just the three I'm talking about, the three main units I'm even talking about out of the 6 main units right now, they're different. They're subtly different in so many ways. That's how it works. All 3 of these white blood cell types are incredible swimmers. They all can swim. They can even go against the currents with a rare ability to go against these currents in such a way to pursue, guess what, pathogens, the very thing that's keeping everybody sick, that's giving everybody everything from acne to eczema, psoriasis to, oh my God, to everything under the sun, to all the different diseases and illnesses that are listed in the Liver Rescue book, to everything else in the Medical Medium series that's listed in there, thyroid problems, and then all the other different stuff that's in there. Athletes, to the highest degree, these immune cells are. They have a special shape that science and research hasn't even yet to discover that allows them to hover in an area of rushing blood like a grizzly bear wading against dangerous rapids to snatch a migrating salmon. I mean, come on. That's how powerful our body is. It's incredible. And even when a pathogen escapes from these Secret Service agents, because that's what they're like, these Secret Service agents, when a pathogen actually escapes at the liver's entryways where they are, they find themselves up against the liver's next defense, which I'm going into. And these are the other 3 of the 6. If I think I covered them all, they're saying, you know what? I hope I covered them all already. You got to get the Liver Rescue book. I can't do it all in the show. This show's a little bit, about having fun too. We have to have fun while we're doing it, I guess. It's a little hard to get it all done. So the next defense are these lobule, white liver lobule cells. These are immune cells. They're personalized guards. So these protect parts of the inside of the liver. So these lobule white blood cells, they border the capillaries and other blood vessels within the liver, on the lookout for invaders like Epstein-Barr that escaped. And by the way, Epstein-Barr is responsible for hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D, hepatitis E. Just for the record. As well as also a zillion undiscovered autoimmune conditions of the liver. I know there's not a zillion of them. I know that. But that's what it's turning out to be. Something close. So that's one variety of the immune system right there sitting inside the liver. So low-grade viral infections inside the liver that go undetected by medical communities. These white blood cells I was just talking about, this one set of our immune system out of the 6 main units, these white blood cells have a license to kill. Their job is more difficult than the white blood cells that were guarding the liver's entryways. So this liver lobule white blood cell that sits inside the liver, it has a much more difficult job than the ones that guarded the hepatic portal highway, the veins, both the veins and the arteries that I was talking about before. So this is an entirely different blood cell, white blood cell. It has a license to kill anything that escapes that enters the liver. This one's way more aggressive too. Because your liver, here's how it works. Your liver is your body's filter. So it can be filled with any number of toxins that get in the way of white blood cells' work. So when these white blood cells have to do their work, these toxins get in the way all the time. These blood cells have to be stronger and even better. It's like the soldiers on the battleground, unable to see clearly from the smoke of burning buildings because there's so much going on. And there's heavy metal runoff inside our liver. There's viral and bacterial waste from Epstein-Barr sitting in the liver for 20 years is built up and built up and built up. There's junk in there. There's all kinds of stuff. There's old pesticides. Even DDT is in all of our livers. You better believe it's there. It's still in all the eagles. DDT is still in every single eagle. Every single eagle on the planet in the U.S. has DDT in it. The eagle eggs still have DDT in it. We don't have any DDT in us? Oh, no, we don't have any DDT in us. Of course not. Every single eagle does, but we don't. No, of course not. Why would we have any in us? So DDT and other troublemakers, they muck up the liver. That's how it works. So these white blood cells, these lobule white blood cells, have to really figure out how to attack these pathogens. It's why keeping the liver clean, like in Liver Rescue, this book Liver Rescue, is so healthy and so critical. It's part of protecting yourself from disease. It's not just about liver disease. Forget that. It's about every single illness you get. It's about Lyme disease. That's liver related. It's about all these things. It's about all these things. And by the way, I've been saying this not just from book 1, Medical Medium, the series. Lyme disease, every single person with Lyme disease has Epstein-Barr. I wonder why. I wonder why there are neurological Lyme symptoms. Maybe it's Epstein-Barr. It is. Because bacteria doesn't create neurological symptoms. When is the medical community going to wake up to that fact alone? And if that made you mad about Lyme disease, I say this every show if I say something about Lyme disease, because I've been whiplashed from it so bad over the years. If that made you upset, get book 1, read the Lyme chapter, learn the truth about Lyme disease. Don't stay in denial. It's important. It's important. If you need to bring a torch and try to burn my apartment down, bring a pitchfork, bring shovels, and bring baseball bats and torches if you want, because I said the truth about Lyme disease. If that's what you want to do. Okay, so it's so this is how it's so important that these white blood cells really help. So bile production is one of the top functions of your liver. Bile duct white blood cells are unknown to research and science, and they're assigned to watch over the bile duct system. There's an immune cell that's protecting your bile duct. These cells are the only part of the immune system that can withstand bile's harsh nature. It's an immune white blood cell that's not discovered or studied by science and research. It has a sheath over it, a membrane that can handle the harsh nature of bile. It's got a protective cover undiscovered by research and science. It acts as a shield, like a hazmat suit or a firefighter's gear. The bile duct white blood cell looks for passerbyers in bile that may cause infection of the liver and gallbladder and duodenum and intestinal tract. That this white blood cell can travel upward and invade the stomach. It can travel upward and nab a pathogen that slips by, that gets out of that bile duct. It can even travel. White blood cell will launch itself, kamikaze attack. You got a white blood cell that will kill itself. It'll die for you, is what it'll do. It'll launch itself out of the bile duct into uncharted territory, into your gut, knowing it's eventually going to be destroyed, and its shield is going to burn off. Its shield is going to burn off, and it's going to be annihilated. But it's trying to stop a pathogen before it gets killed off and burned up by too much bile over time and hydrochloric acid. And it knows it can't find itself back or find its way back. And once it goes into the gut, it's going to die eventually or get eliminated out of your stool or wherever it's going to go. So that's how it works. You got a kamikaze. You literally got a white blood cell that will kill itself for you. And it'll follow the invader as far as it can to try to stop it. By the end of this journey, the path basically ultimately destroys and kills the bile duct white blood cell I'm talking about by burning away its protective cover. Its suicide mission was for pursuing the pathogen, which is that incredible. That's your liver. So do we still want to hurt our liver? Do we still want to, look, we're not educated about eating right. I get that. That's not what I'm up at. You know what? I don't care. I don't care if someone is eating fast food and they're not educated about their liver, or they're not educated about what diet they can do. They're not educated what they should be doing to protect themselves and the liver's immune system. I don't hold anybody. I don't judge anybody on that on any level. I don't judge anybody on that. You better believe it. You better believe it. Life is hard. You're trying to survive. You're going to fast food restaurants, or you're eating wherever at a friend's house, or you're trying to get your next meal, and you're trying to just whatever you got to do. And if you're eating donuts and you're drinking whatever and you're doing whatever you're doing, I totally get it. You know what pisses me off is when you're this elite / doctor / trying to be public figure / writing books and articles / doing whatever, and then telling people fruit will hurt your liver and stay on a high fat, high trendy, high protein diet. Oh, bring in celery juice, by the way. Where'd that come from? That came from here. We know that, medical medium. That's one of those jewels. And that bothers me, because then people get really misdirected, and now they're on these other diets thinking they're still doing something for the liver. Yeah, it's a little better than it was than if they were doing processed foods. But let me tell you something. It's not enough. We have to protect your liver, learn how to eat. You're allowed to have some fats. You're allowed to have some animal protein. You're allowed to have some fats, but you got to be cautious, and you got to try to be careful on that protein tag. That protein tag will keep you sick and take 10 years off your life down the road. And does that matter? It matters when you're 70 and you want it to live to be 80. I'll tell you that much. It matters greatly. It matters when you lose 15 years off your life. When you want it to be 80 and you lose it at 65. You want it to be 100, but you tanked at 80. I don't know. It matters. And if you're chronically ill and you wanted to make it to 60, but you made it to 40, it matters. So it all matters. So the bottom line is your liver has this unbelievable immune system. We have to take care of it. And then finally, there's this other part of the liver's immune system, the lymphocytes. They patrol the outer region of the liver. These white blood cells tend to stay on the outside of the liver. And they're in the watchtower, positions in around the lymphatic vessels. These are the guys that are trying to stop all that strep that's pounding out of the liver, that's coming out of the liver and going into up beneath the derma, and getting every teenager in trouble with all the different acne and the cystic acne and everybody with acne. That's the strep. And so these lymphatic white blood cells, these outside ones that are part of the liver's immune system that research and science aren't aware of yet, they're trying to actually stop that kind of thing, including like Epstein-Barr getting into the tonsils and causing tonsillitis, mono, and strep, and all that other stuff that happens. I love when someone says, I just got a case of laryngitis. It's not, not when I'm not saying they have tonsillitis, when they have laryngitis, I love that. Yeah, no, I just got laryngitis. It's just going away. It's been a couple of weeks. I went to the doctor. He gave me an antibiotic, or she gave me an antibiotic. And they get laryngitis. You get laryngitis? That's strep or mono or both, or one. Because, yep, it's a little bit of strep or mono or both. Bottom line. Anyway, so there's these lymphocytes. It's part of the liver's immune system. It tries to stop invaders on the outside, going into lymphatic vessels, heading in there where these other lymphocytes are that science and research are aware of. But those aren't part of the liver's immune system. You got your lymphocytes that you already have. The science and research already knows about. They got them tagged. They got them. They're on the blood work. They're on there. You can learn about them. They're no big deal. They're your lymphatic lymphocytes. They're the ones that actually sit around your thyroid, trying to protect you from Epstein-Barr. There, entering into it. I talk about this in Thyroid Healing. Get the Thyroid Healing book. I got 100 conditions and symptoms in there that you wouldn't believe that are part of the whole thing with Epstein-Barr and the thyroid and everything. You want to be an Epstein-Barr expert, get the Thyroid Healing book. Honestly, that book is unbelievable for that. But anyway, the bottom line is the lymphocytes that are around the liver, though, those ones are different. It's part of the 6 main units I'm talking about this whole time, and those aren't discovered yet. And those are there to try to stop strep or anything else from going further out and getting out and getting to the point of causing tonsillitis, getting to the point of causing acne, getting to the point of causing some weird sore throat that just burns, getting to the point of causing all the different fatigue, getting to the point of causing all the brain fog, getting to the point of causing UTIs, chronic UTIs, getting to the point of stopping all of that. So we covered the liver's immune system, not in its entirety. I can't get it all done. Liver Rescue has way more information about it. I think I even missed one for you out of all of those. We don't have the time. And I even missed a whole bunch of other stuff about the liver's immune system because I can't cover all of that. It's in the pages of Liver Rescue. Pick one up. If you get a chance, whatever, go to the bookstore. And you can't pick one up because you can't budget it right now with financially or anything. Just go to the library and get one and take care of yourself for me. If you can't do it for yourself, can you do it for me? Can you do it for me? Okay? That's a lot to ask, I know. All right, can you do it for yourself? All right. Can you do it for your loved ones? Yeah. Well, I feel like a loved one, right? Meaning like I love you. And I care, and I do. I've seen enough suffering in my day, and I still see it every day. It breaks my heart, and it's really hard. The amount of people dealing with everything from, gut-related liver problems to everything under the sun, is really difficult. Stay strong for me the best you can. I know so many of you that have actually been just, you're fighting your way through it all and you're trying to get through the misinformation out there and you don't know where to go and all kinds of stuff and you've been struggling. Just stay strong for me and hang in there. Saturate yourself in the medical medium books and the information. The answers are there. It's timeless. It's actually there. And it's ahead of research and science. Try not to get confused with the disinformation out there, misinformation, everything else. Try to be careful. Because I've seen this over and over again for decades. People have come to me that were sick for decades. They got help and they were finally free. Don't let it wait that long. I love you guys. Take one day at a time. Bless your heart. Take care. I'll see you next show. This is going to be great. All right. Love you. Bye.